Hi there, I'm Linda and this is Huttons Valley Permaculture. It won't be long until the summer growing season's with us and I've got plenty of work to do before then. I want to turn an out of control area of this garden into a productive space once again, so that's what I'm going to make a start on today. Believe it or not, this area was under control. I did build it at the same time as the rest of my garden, but I let it get out of control. So today I'm going to get the wood chips down, get the cardboard down and get some more compost going and turn it back into the productive space that the rest of the garden is. Now, in addition to recreating my garden, I do want to create more of a path through here. It's hard to manage the edge when the grass goes right up to my garden space. This section here has the wood chips and then the grass, and it's a lot easier to maintain. You can just kind of clear out the grasses as they grow into this space, and it's easier just to keep on top of it. So first up, I'm going to get some mowing done here, get the cardboard down and get some wood chips onto it. And I'll just move the chicken fence in a bit. With the trimmings from the grass, I'm going to actually put it in my garden. There's no seeds in here as yet, so it'll be a great mulch for my onions. Now to get to mowing. Perfect to add as a mulch to your garden. The onions sort of seem lost in that sea of green, but the grass clippings will soon brown off and hopefully these onions will start to really grow soon. I've brought up my tub from the pasture to help with just wetting this cardboard, because it's definitely easier to put on the ground and then cover when it's wet. It also highlights where you haven't quite got all the tape off the cardboard by dampening it. Now I'll get this cardboard laid down and get started on the path around the edge of the garden. Now I'm just going to extend it sort of through there and along the side of the garden. And I'll be ripping these bits just so I can overlap that. I recently received a pile of wood chips from my local tree felling company. I've actually got 2 big piles, so plenty to get this project done. Okay, now some more cardboard. I'm just going to leave that edge of the cardboard clear for the moment so I can join it up to the cardboard for the rest of the garden. But that's my path all done. Now we can head into the garden. I'm going to join on the cardboard here and just sort of curve the garden around like that. And I'm hoping to join up with my nursery space one day, but I've only got so much cardboard. So I'm going to start at this end and just do as much as I can with the cardboard I've got. I've discovered some volunteer parsnips. I seem to not be able to get parsnips growing if I plant them myself, but they volunteer quite readily from a very productive parsnip plant that I let go to seed in this area. So I will be digging up some of these little plants and attempting the transfer, being very careful because it is a root vegetable. Okay, all right, that should be enough. Now under here is my new carrot patch, and my little carrots are coming up, and I think I might be able to fit in a row of parsnips at the top edge of my little carrot bed. Just very small at this stage, and I'm still protecting them with the netting just to keep the birds off at the moment. So I'm just going to carefully transfer those into the ground, being very careful with the roots to make sure they're right down into the ground and not kinked at all. I kind of kept the root ball on this one because it's a bit larger. This is a previous transfer that I've planted from that same patch, and these two are from that patch. I didn't separate them out very well, and there's another two that again I failed to separate properly. I'm just going to use my wet cardboard, put it over the top of it and just bury it with my wood chips and my compost. First up, I'm going to just mow a section to indicate where this top path will be, and then we can start to build the gardens below that. With the path marked, I can now get my wet cardboard down. I am doubling up a bit just to make sure that this cardboard is going to be thick enough and will last long enough so that the weeds will kind of die off underneath. I'm just going to build it up with the wood chips and compost as I go. And it also will retain the moisture and not dry out that way as well. I want these wood chips quite thick just to help stop all these weeds and things coming up through. Now onto the garden. I've got all this mushroom compost that I've bought from my local garden supplies place. Homemade compost would be the best for building your gardens, but I just don't have enough. I'll be adding duck bedding, homemade compost, all sorts of things to these beds over time as my garden develops. I'm just going to put this board down just as a bit of a guide to where my compost needs to be and where it will end down here. The garden bed is on contour, but this is fairly straight section, so my compost will need to be in through there, and then this will be another path. nearly through all our cardboard. So I think just the one bed is what we're going to get done for today. With the remaining cardboard, I'm going to put an edge along here and I will be able to get my path in. I've got some old potatoes that I dragged out of the garden quite a while ago. They are starting to chit and get those sprouts happening. There's a few different varieties here. So I think I'm going to make the most of all these old spuds and get them into my new garden bed. Well, it's the next day. I have just held down the edge cardboard pieces with some weights so that they don't blow away, and they'll wait like that until I continue with this garden. It actually takes a little bit of effort to get even this small amount done. So what I'm learning is to just give myself little rewards along the way. Don't bite off too much of a project. Just be happy with what you can get done, maybe just one bed at a time, just to keep things moving. And so as my reward today, I'm going to plant some potatoes into this new garden bed. I'll start with this bucket load because it does have a variety in it. I think I've got more potatoes than space, so I'll get this in, and I might have to wait to build more beds to get the rest of the potatoes in. I'm just going to space these out, then bury them. I'm just going to bury these potatoes as deep as the cardboard is. And my plan is to hill them up as they grow. Well, this video has turned out to be part one of my front garden extension. I feel really rewarded to have had one bed built and the potatoes into the ground. I hope you've enjoyed this video and feel inspired just to do little bits and reward yourself as well. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.